Ladies and gentlemen of the Sleeveless Army, hail to you. Thank you for coming. Oh, goodness. Today was a day. So I woke up about 4:30 in the afternoon, right? Because I work nights. Woke up about 4:30 in the afternoon. And I say to myself, oh yeah, I'm going to be on John Malin's show today. And along with a lot of other creators, to discuss 3 Nights, 4 Days. And then I see a voicemail on my phone from my mom. And she goes, Micah, I need you to call me. Now, I love my mom, but my mom can be a little melodramatic. But usually whenever she says that it's important, I do need to give her a call. And it was wedding stuff for my sister. And the call went on. And on. And on. To the point I was 45 minutes late for John's show and just barely got to plug my fucking book. Thankfully we got some more backers out of it. But still. That was that was a pain in the ass. But I do want to thank John for having me on. I also have something before we get started, but first and foremost, I'm just going to say hello to everybody. Jamil Isafu is here, Alistair Fulgore, Brainbox and Hardboiled, Sultan Al Fahim, Not the Last One, The Holy Ninja Toe, Changus Khan, Alan Hughes, Frog G is here. My one comment on 3 Nights, 4 Days, Frog G, who is an awesome dude, is here. So, I have some interesting stuff to talk about today. And, yeah, we'll just put it that way. So some of you might be wondering, Micah, why the fuck is the title of the show Racist Burgers? Oh, Michael Fedor is here as well. Also reenactor 1999. Anger Green Boss. But, Trino de Guzman's here as well. Timbertone. Where to even begin with today, man? Because on top of that, I also noticed that a certain blue-haired land whale found another way to get pissed at me. Also, Yamza344 is here as well. Nice to see you. Good lord. This is some weird shit. So, last video I did, we talked about the blue-haired land whale Renfamous trying to cancel me. Trying to say that because I think that the 1619 project is absolute fiction, which it is, by the way. It was more than just an opinion. It's been debunked by historians. In fact, the person who created the fucking thing has flat out said it's not about historical accuracy. It's about the narrative. Which basically means I'm lying to you anytime somebody says that. Ridiculous to me. And I'm already getting money thrown at me. So I'll read that here in a second. I like Alistair Fulgore's name for the blue-haired bit. I need caffeine, goddammit. Might have to go to a gas station and buy a Monster tonight. Chaos Sonic says, $1. At least it's not something bad happening to your mother. That is very true. That would be a very bad day for me. So, Son of the Dragon is here. He asks, so we're doing another whale hunt. A little bit of whale hunting. And by the way, for those of you who are wondering what this red stuff is in my water all the time, as condensation flies everywhere and I rub it in my hair, Mio Energy. This shit basically fuels me at this point. It keeps me from drinking soda. But, anyway, let's go ahead and, talk about. So basically what happened is, you know, if you watched my latest video on this channel, I talked exactly about that. You know, that I was falsely accused of racism for making an argument against the 1619 project being taught in American schools and schools getting federal funding for teaching it. So, by the way, as I mentioned over and over and over again, race never comes up in the article. And anybody in the chat who has read the article can probably vouch for that. I know Hatman's read it. So, yeah. I made the argument. And I will consistently make arguments. Because let me just say this. What the left thinks is good for people who aren't white isn't what's good. And it never works. Because it's not based on statistics. It's not based on good ideas. It's based on virtue signaling. And virtue signaling never gets you anywhere. But that's neither here nor there. We're talking about comic books. So, the latest way to try to tie me, the half-Jew, to racism. What do you have a problem against Jews, Ren? Seriously? You're gonna take a fire hose to my people too? She says here, she goes after my shirt that I was wearing. My fucking shirt! So for those who don't know, I am a big fan of a restaurant called Kuma's Corner up in Chicago. I am not an investor in Kuma's Corner. I do not own Kuma's Corner. I am not involved in the management in any way. I just eat there anytime I go to Chicago. Why? Because they have fucking great burgers. My favorite is this giant pulled pork sandwich called the Pig Destroyer. I've actually shown them off before. I have a Kuma's Corner button on the side of my car. But recently, apparently, some of the management there have been complete and total shitheads to their employees. And as such, from what I saw in the news, they were fired. Now, Renfamous seems to think, and let me show you guys this. She seems to think that because I was wearing a Kuma's Corner shirt, me not knowing about this, I just found out about it today, I am somehow a racist. Ren, Evel Knievel couldn't make that fucking leap, you dumb bitch. It's a place I eat at. I don't own the fucking joint. How the fuck was I supposed to know? I don't exactly take the time to follow everything that they fucking do. I'm not there every day. I live 2 hours south. And here's the funny thing. Most people in Chicago probably don't even know about all this. This is the best you got? You thundering dumbass? This is how you're going to try to malign my name? This is the way that you're going to try to destroy my business and my livelihood with these false allegations of racism? That, by the way, are just fucking insane. Is with shit that doesn't even come close to hitting the mark. What the actual fuck? Is this supposed to be logic? I mean, you tried my haircut. You tried the tone of my skin, which, again, half Jew. You tried me writing about the 1619 Project, which had no mention of race whatsoever in it. That failed. By the way, my editors laughed at you. Just so you know. So that ain't happening. My publication ain't getting rid of me. And this all started because I made the claim, the factual claim at this point, as far as I'm concerned, that I am a better comic book writer than Ta-Nehisi Coates. I am. You're going to have to deal with it. You tried to take writing out of context, showing a character that is a gangster talking like a gangster. I showed you Ta-Nehisi Coates writing random black people talking like gangsters. The idea that he doesn't use slang or anything like that, like, You've never read his fucking books. You don't read comics at all. And when you tried to write, you fucking failed at it. You're talentless. What good are you worth aside from sucking dick? Meanwhile, I can make a living off of writing. Because I'm damn good at it. But this is a giant reach. Giant fucking reach. This is the way that it goes. I wonder what the response... And by the way, she tried to say that because somebody had a stone toss avatar that was defending me, that's proof that I'm a Nazi. Again, Jew. I didn't even know what stone toss was until I looked it up. I love this here. She used to be better at this. The desperation of this reach has got to be straining her back at this point. I know, right? This is how it goes. They will try to use anything. Right now, she is probably on Twitter looking through Samoa Joe's tweets to try to see if he said something offensive. I guarantee you. Well, Ren, we'll even give you a little bit more. I'll put on a band beanie. Look up everything that Dark Tranquility's ever done and see if you can find something that's offensive. Good luck. Should be fun. This is hilarious to me. Now, I would have said that I am a better writer than, what's his name? Kwanzaa, but that's a really low bar. I want you guys to keep in mind, Kwanzaa Osifjefo, in his book Black, created a character, a black character, whose superpower is turning into a monkey. Kwanzaa Osifjefo also has a character that can turn into a rat in Black, named Hood Rat. Wow. Meanwhile, my black superhero character is named the Saint. Y'all suck. I could have wiped my ass on a piece of paper, put it on Indiegogo. I would have done better in the quality product. Jesus fucking Christ. Y'all ain't got shit on me. Couple donations. Changus Kong says, you gotta be really invested in Akumas to search for dirt on the restaurant and attempt to use it to smear Micah. She says more about the blue hair land whale. You into burgers, Ren? Your weight seems to say so. Don't be so sad that no BBC will pound your cunt. Jesus Christ, Changus. And then Chaos Sonic, who knew Renfamous is related to Eric Cartman? She hates anyone who's Jewish. I'm guessing, because holy fuck, man. Like, and this is just generally how it goes. Absolutely how it goes. Is people seem to think that you can just smear somebody and nobody's going to say anything about it. Give me a fucking break. Give me a fucking break. Also, apparently, the cancel crowd is going after Art to Bear. What is going on here? Hold on a sec. Oh, yeah. Apparently, Fabian and Isaiah is now trying to cancel his former colleague Art T. Bear because Ethan made a joke about Tess Fowler having cancer. To be honest with you, it doesn't surprise me. They will try anything to try to cancel somebody. Anything. You appear with the wrong person, you talk to the wrong human being, and they will try to destroy you. And like I've said before, it doesn't matter if you're on the right or on the left. There are right-wing people that will try to destroy you too. It's an issue in our current culture, and I look too much like John Malin with this thing on. But, they will try to destroy you. They want to take everything. You know? Fabian Isaiah, for those who don't know, was a big-name X-Men writer back in the 90s. He's the guy who did a lot of the big arcs after... what's his face? Chris Claremont left the book. So, Jesus Christ. Let me show you guys what I mean. This is kind of breaking. It says, you have to be better than this. So let's play the clip here. And, of course, it's probably going to be out of context. But yeah, Fabian is the co-creator of Deadpool, for those who don't know. You're only going to be able to hear the audio.
And Tess Fowler is unable to work. Tess Fowler tweets out that she thinks this is it. She's never had the ability to work taken from her before. Me neither, Tess. Fuck you. You know, I mean, absolutely. What am I supposed to feel sorry for you? Fuck you. You know, this is the thing. I don't wish cancer on anybody. But you did nothing but spend your time in this wonderful but frivolous business trying to hurt people, including me. You know, is that right, Cecil? Am I right to say that?
Oh yeah, no, they want to destroy you. They want you to kill yourself and not be able to feed your family. I don't know what kind of cancer she has. I think I got her confused with Mags. I think she had ovarian.
You got her confused with Mags?
Yeah.
I see. Okay. Who knows?
3 people getting cancer.
It is sad. It is sad. Boo hoo hoo. You know, look.
Ethan's got fucking powers. Don't you know this? You fuck with them and bad things gonna happen.
That is God. This is a weird thing. God will strike you down. It's not within my control. It's just something that tends to happen, Cecil.
I've seen it.
I've seen it.
So all of this is joking so far in this audio.
Craziness.
I need to hear this story. You've seen it, like actually, like this miracle.
Well, I just see anybody who goes against him, and within a short time, they're begging on the internet for fucking. They can't. They're destitute. There's fucking illnesses. There's just he's like the fucking the plagues of Egypt in living form.
What the fuck? That was pretty tame. That was very tame, on top of that. And they didn't mock her getting cancer. They said it's ironic. And here's the thing. Tess Fowler does spend all of her fucking time trying to cancel people. The fact of the matter is that life has bitter ironies. You know? And that's one of them. Because when somebody who wants to destroy people's careers ends up having something happen to them that is truly terrible, there is a sense of irony there. But by the way, nobody wished cancer on her in that clip. Not even fucking close. Absolutely ridiculous. So let's do something. I think Art's got a campaign up, if I remember right. Let me double check. By the way, 3 nights, 4 days is just a couple backers away from 270. I'll bring up those numbers real quick. Bear with me for just a moment, guys. I apologize for the dead air there. Let's see here. I'm just doing some digging. So Art has actually a couple campaigns up. Sadly, one is closed. So the Black and White Second Chance, and I missed it, so fuck me, I guess. But Art does have another book up that's still being worked on called Chrono Mechanics Retrofit. I will go ahead and drop the link in the chat for you guys to back the book if you have not already. Let's show a little support for Art to Bear for his with his fucking former colleagues trying to bury the man over honestly some pretty tame fucking statements. But then again, this is cancel culture. This is exactly what they try to fucking do. They try to destroy people. They'll falsely accuse you of racism. They'll falsely accuse you of this and that. They'll take tame things that you say or talk about bitter ironies as if you're wishing death on people. Give me a fucking break. This is something that's kind of interesting, is that I had kind of figured, and this is just going to be me ranting for a bit, and maybe I got a little too complacent. I kind of figured that the social justice types were done. I figured they'd given up. That they were going to just give us our little corner of the internet to continue working. You know? It's like these guys have their thing. They're over on Indiegogo. They sell books. They do like quarterly graphic novels, if not yearly, depending on the creator. You know, they're not doing a ton of shit. But boy, howdy, was I fucking wrong. Because this sort of nonsense does not rest. They never want to let it go. They're always looking for ways to destroy you. Always looking for ways to get at you. The best way to fight it is to support the people that are good, that people are trying to destroy. Because, man, those people need support. We can't build the alternatives if nobody comes. You know? That sounded dirty. But you get what I mean. There's that old thing from Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come. You know? But if nobody shows up to the game ain't happening. Chaos Sonic donates another $1. He says here, that's tamer than my jokes. The review, other than Kamen Rider Black and RX's Power Rangers Dino Thunder, basically a sequel to the Mighty Morphin, with Tony leading a group of Rangers in the movie ending to X-Aid. Right. I did not forget about the X-Aid film. I'm probably going to watch that tonight. But anyway. I find myself endlessly frustrated by this. You know, endlessly frustrated. Because all people want to do is just destroy others these days. This is driving me crazy. Now they're uneven that way. I'm going to have to move that nail over. But whatever. Anyway. As it stands, these sorts of things just continue to bother me, and they always will. By the way, a big thank you to the two latest backers of 3 Nights, 4 Days. Both of them dropped big numbers on this. Oh wait, no, I've got 3 new backers today. All of them dropped big numbers. Got one guy who dropped 50, another 95, another 75. That's the crazy thing. People are dropping big money on 3 Nights. You know, people when they get it, man, they really, really want everything to do with it, which is humbling to me, to say the least. And I know it's humbling to my team on that. In fact, let's go ahead and go over something. We're going to take a little break from talking about that before we move on to reacting to the new Whisper Network article. So Let's see what the chat's saying. Hank Hill says, you need to understand that these people are essentially ideological Daleks. They hate and try to destroy anything that doesn't adhere to their worldview. Ain't that the truth? That's a very good way to put it. You say something they don't like, all of a sudden it's exterminate! Exterminate! Chaos Sonic says, also, if you're going to watch it tonight, I'll resend you the link in the DM and watch the end credit scene. You got it. Let's see here. So 3 nights, 4 days. Put out an update. So we are in the last 10 days. I'm just going to go ahead and read it. What's up, Crusaders? Micah Curtis here. And we're at the last 10 days of the campaign. I want to thank everyone for not just helping us get funded, but taking us even further beyond. We're not too far away from 20K either, which takes us to our first stretch goal. Once there, a brand new cover will be available. The super talented Vinny Tartamella will be doing an homage cover for us. One of my favorite filmmakers is John Carpenter, will be doing a tribute to Prince of Darkness, which was one of my biggest inspirations for the story. Now, if the title wasn't a dead giveaway, we'll be going in demand after 10 days. However, a couple of tiers are disappearing, specifically the drawn-in Be a Cultist tier and the Get a Sketch tier. So if you want to upgrade to those tiers, now is the time. And also good news, we've got some new pages to show off, check them out. So Oliver's finished coloring page 1 and page 2 of the book. So that brings us to a total, I believe, of 6 or 7 colored pages. And then Preston will have another 4 penciled. So that'll bring us up to 12 total penciled, which is like a little over a quarter of the book. So, no, yeah, it's around a quarter of the book will be penciled already. So, and also there's a new update on Inglewood, which Hatman has put out. So I'll read that too, because I know we've already discussed it. And like I've mentioned, we will be doing a second chance campaign for Inglewood as well, for those of you who missed it the first time around. Thank you, Chaos Sonic. I just got that DM, so I will watch that tonight. So the update on Inglewood... Hatman. Hatman puts here, why haven't you backed 3 nights 4 days yet, Steve? Seriously, Steve, get on that shit. Don't you know that 3 nights 4 days campaign? So this is pretty much all I talked about. So hey, I got my shirts. Why do they look kind of funky? So some of you might notice there's a residue on your Born in Blood shirts. It's totally normal. There's nothing to worry about. TLDR of that is you should wash before wearing, and that sticky crap will come off just fine. The long version goes like this. We printed these shirts using a method called direct-to-garment printing, which uses water-based inks, basically dyeing the fabrics. This process is a lot easier when you're not using white ink, because the white will just sort of sit on the surface. Because these shirts were black, we needed to use that white ink, which means the shirts had to be sprayed with a chemical pre-treatment. This allows the white ink to stick onto the shirts so that prints will show up on dark-colored shirts, like the ones we've sent to you. The chemical leaves the fabric of the shirt a bit sticky and almost plasticky. How do you fix this? Wash the shirt. After washing it, inside out or otherwise, it's all good. That excess pre-treatment gets flushed away, so it feels much better. I would have left a note in the packages about this, but to be honest, I forgot to do so, which means you get an update. Congratulations. He says, what's next? Posters? International shipping is next. Some of them have been shipped out, and those backers should have their tracking info. But while we wait on the posters to get done, which we're working on, stay tuned, we're going to go ahead and run international orders, pretty much all at once, so no country gets priority over another. So basically, and Hatman, correct me if I'm wrong on this, that means all of the books are out, right? So everybody should be getting their book. The rest of it will come later. So, which I think that what we should probably do next time is, since we're currently dealing with next time, is we should probably send out merch when it's done, and then, because we're charging them for that being shipped anyway. So, that's just what I'm thinking. Have I seen the new trailer for Dark Tide? What is Dark Tide? Never heard of it. But anyway. I have a package of verboten. Right here. Well, I have the most verboten comic on the internet right now, it seems. Like I said, this will be coming in. Look how shiny that is. It's like Streamception. You can watch me while you're basically just seeing my laptop there. See, look, I can wave hi to myself through the comic. But yes, beautiful, beautiful comic book. I love it. I love it. I think I did a great job with it. So hopefully you guys will think the same. But anyway, the verboten that I got was this. Because for those who don't know, I am not just somebody who's friendly with RT Bear, I'm a fan of his work. And I got the triple pack of the cover of Vampirella #1. This is actually the only physical copy of Vampirella #1 that I own. And 2 of these books are going to stay mint. And staying in the package. These 2 have not been opened yet. And if they do ever get opened, I'm just going to have Art sign them. But these feature his characters black and white and his gorgeous art. And I have a question for you guys. So let's do a thing. Is Graded still live? I don't know if they are. Let me have a look. I was hoping that Optimus and yeah, they are still live. Okay. So we will wait to see if they come into the chat tonight after their show is concluded to run a poll through the audience tonight. But needless to say, beautiful comic book. Vampirella by Christopher Priest is a really good book. I just can't support Dynamite anymore. This is the only money they're going to get from me anymore. Just because of them kowtowing to the social justice warriors. So, I know I sold quite a few of those. So for those of you who bought them while watching the show, when I was on my old channel, then, keep an eye out. They're on their way. And, but supposedly I work for Dynamite. So, I guess I'm shilling for them. One thing I wanted to kind of show off also, this is sort of like your standard floppy that you get at a comic store. You kind of see how the pages, they're not exactly like very shiny. Just kind of normal, like 50-pound paper at best. And it's kind of flimsy. You could do this, and I could tear it in half if I wanted to, really easily. Whereas, and this is part of the reason why crowdfunded books cost more. This is much, much thicker paper. This is 100-pound cover. Like, it's very, and with a gloss embossing. It's very detailed. And I couldn't tear this easily. Like, I'm just doing this, and I can feel a lot of resistance. So, super durable shit. But anyway, that's the big thing. So, God, it's such a good comic book, man. Christopher Priest is a one-of-a-kind writer. And in the back of it, they had they had a ton of variant covers for this book. Not the last one throws in a buck. He says, why did it not show up? It says, Boomer Man, I hope Preston can get my good side as I die horribly in your new book. Did you just back it? Or were you already one of the drawn-ins? Yeah, you must have already been. So, yeah, we'll definitely be doing that. One thing I will just say though is I am very happy that the West understands the beauty of booty, because a lot of these variants had Vampy's butt as well. So a lot of these are really good though. But they had like 50 fucking covers. Though a lot of these that they show in the back of the book are like exclusive to certain stores. Which, believe it or not, apparently with Dynamite, that's one of the benefits of them, is that like they're willing to do store covers, and they're easier to get done as opposed to like Marvel or DC. So I will read through that again tonight, because I really love Christopher Priest. Ugh, goodness. Do I have enough money to order food? I don't think I do. Granted, it's almost 11 o'clock anyway. I'm probably just going to have to cook something. My stomach just kind of reminded me, it's like, you haven't eaten since you woke up 6 hours ago. Yeah, it's too late. Everything's closed on DoorDash. That's a bummer. But anyway. Oh, goodness. I need to crack my neck. Oh, wow. Oh, that was nice. Oh, did you guys hear that? Oh, good lord. Goodness. So anyway. Ugly Media. I felt that. It felt good. Oh, goodness. So let's talk about a couple things. I want to talk about something that I got sent on Discord today. This is like awful. So this screenshot, I'm going to zoom out, is apparently supposed to be the Abomination in the Marvel Avengers game. This? Seriously? What the fuck is that? That's not the Abomination. They don't even look anywhere close to the Abomination. Like, the Abomination in the movie was a pretty big departure from Emil Blonsky in the comics. Like, let me show you real quick. Because, like, this looks fucking awful. I wonder if Dale Keown ever drew him. He did. So, this is Abomination from the MCU. This is Abomination in the comics. And then let me see if I can find him from Ultimate Destruction. Yeah, here we go. And yeah, this is him in Ultimate Destruction on the fucking PS2. So let's establish something here. The PlayStation 2 Abomination looks better than a game that will be looks better than the Abomination that will be on the PlayStation 4. What the fuck is Square Enix doing? I'm so confused. This looks like an old man's face photoshopped on a fish man. Like, seriously. Looks like me when I wake up in the morning. Chaos Sonic says, I felt that neck crack, and the real reason I wanted you to watch Kamen Riders, because I thought the Tokusatsu stuff would be a good replacement for Marvel and DC, other than Comicsgate, of course. Kind of. Oddly enough, One Punch Man is scratching that itch for me. We'll talk about that tomorrow on the podcast, though. Actually, no, I have to review a different movie for Deimos, and then we'll talk about One Punch Man next week. But no, look at this. This is Emil Blonsky. This looks like he's supposed to look. You know? This is how he's appeared in the comics forever. Let's see if I can find another good one. Here's a couple by Ed McGuinness. Like, look at how much better that is. Like, this is what Emil Blonsky's supposed to look like. This is even closer to the others. At least he's got, like, the spines and stuff. I wish they gave him the fish ears, but they didn't. But this is awful. Like, it looks like trash. He doesn't look... He looks like a monster, like, here and on the chest, but his face is just wrong. Looks like my grandpa. Grandpa, why are you a Hulk villain? And how are you alive? Seriously. And Chaos Sonic says the X-Aid movie review after the other movie review. Fair point. What the fuck? What the actual fuck? And yeah, somebody else says that Hawkeye looks like fucking Jesse from Breaking Bad. Meaning that they made him look like his Ultimates counterpart, which was never really that cool looking. Hardboiled, drop that link in the chat for 3 nights. Remember, guys, we're 2 away from 270. If you haven't backed it yet, please consider doing so. All right. It is that time. By the way, we have 42 people in here and only 24 likes. Let's bump that number up. If you're enjoying the show, please hit that like button. Piper's here. Are you guys done with the show already? Sadly, Piper, you missed the dunking. Though, here in a minute, I'm about to do the reactions to the Whisper Network article. I have not read it yet, surprisingly. Like, I've been avoiding it all day because I genuinely am curious about what's going to be in this. Oh, yes, there was an audience poll I was going to do, but I was going to wait until you and Optimus wanted to come, see if you guys wanted to come in. I had an idea. Oh, they just read through it. Okay. Well, here's my thought. And this is just me. So I was thinking that we ought to do something special for the Peregrine Inglewood crossover. And I think we should probably approach the gentleman doing it early just so that we can get it done. I am thinking we should have Art T. Bear do the cover for that comic. And get Kyle to do the colors. That's what I'm thinking. So, well, this is not going to be a quick read, so if you guys are heading over to Nick's, go for it. But if you guys would like to see Art T. Bear take on the Peregrine Inglewood crossover cover, whenever we do that comic, put a 1 in the chat for me. I want to know what people think. So, let's go ahead and hit this. Then yeah, we definitely need to approach him, like, early. I'll have to get some money together and see what his rate is. Looking pretty fucking unanimous. I think we know what we're doing. Oh. A lot of 1s, some hell yeah. I love it. Alright, well, we know what we're doing then. Alright. We'll DM Art and we'll get his rates. Alright, let's go ahead and hit this. So, Whisper Network Part 2, Media Cover-Ups and Coordinated Future Attacks. Since exposing the Whisper Network, tips and testimonials have flooded into Bleeding Fool inbox from all corners of the internet. Feels like a tectonic shift is blah, 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 blah. Okay. For this installment, I'm going to present an untold history lesson of a massive crime that was initially reported and swiftly followed by a media cover-up I think a lot of people completely missed. Sometimes it's when the media doesn't report that it makes a difference. Then we will go back inside the Secret Women of Comics Facebook group where I will demonstrate why I think this popular DC Comics writer is the next target of the Whisper Network. Okay. So, I love this. Arrogant female Whisper Network member. Yeah, let's I'll hit Art up, Optimus, and then we'll talk about it. But yeah. So is this thing even real? Oh sure, the Whisper Network exists 99% of the time. We're not even talking about guys. A few days after Part 1 dropped, Amy Chu casually confirmed the existence of the Whisper Network, which she dubbed the Arrogant Female Whisper Network on Twitter. Doesn't that sound like a great name for branded merchandise? Blah, 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 blah. Says, neither run by Gale nor Alex as he claims. Except Gale started the group. Nice try, though. So, bunch of bullshit. So basically what she's saying is that cute, but we don't believe you, you know? And a lot of people have talked about this. So I don't really think that we need to recap part 1. Just what you need to know is that there is a Whisper network, and they're trying to fuck people's careers over. So let's go ahead and keep going. Felony charges and the disappearing news coverage. If a Hugo Award and Eisner Award-winning comics writer publicly accused someone else in the comics industry of a felony crime, would you expect the comics media reported? The media sure made a big deal with the late great Stan Lee accused his assistant of theft. But when New York Times bestseller and legendary comic pro Bill Willingham, the man responsible for the award-winning DC Vertical comic book series Fables, recently accused his assistant of embezzlement, the story got memory hold. His assistant has been very eager to break into the business years earlier, and everything was presumably going well until began to notice a lot of his money had gone missing. 3 years into her employment, Willingham became convinced that his assistant had betrayed him and she had embezzled in excess of $10,000 from his accounts. Willingham filed charges with the local authorities and a criminal case was launched. That female assistant in question just happened to be one of the Whisper Network's rising stars, none other than Stephanie Cook. Ooh, this is going to get interesting. Brainbox is taken off for the night, so everybody say goodnight to Brainbox. He says, getting a new job after the last one came to an end, got some work to do around my room, and got to psych myself up for it. I'll be there for the podcast. Awesome, dude. I'm very, very happy. So, yeah, get yourself some rest. Have a good night, buddy. Thank you for modding for me. All right. In fact, Bill Willingham made the incident very public, releasing the news to the comics industry press with the following statement. It needs to be reported that during the 3 years she worked for me, Stephanie Cook embezzled and outright stole from me in a total of excess of $10,000. Unfortunately, I can't give you anything approaching an exact figure yet, as we're still uncovering instances of theft. Jesus Christ, and this was 5 years ago. So, so we basically get the gist, is that she stole shit, and there was a public statement that went out to the press. So, according to the folks that the writer spoke with, Cook had been well known by Willingham's friends and family, as everyone knew this had happened. They also told me that this was considered an open secret in the comic business. For some reason, those I spoke with had been privately discussing Cook's embezzlement since 2015, but none dared bring it up publicly. Chaos Sonic donates $1. I need to move around my windows so I can check these a little bit easier without having to constantly go full screen. He says, I'm sorry, what happened to the Fables writer? One of my favorite books. It looks like Stephanie Cook, who is a up-and-comer in the comic book industry and a part of the Whisper Network, was embezzling money from him in the tune of tens of thousands of dollars. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Because of her reputation and media connections, they're worried about some sort of backlash to their careers if they ever spoke out, even if anything they were saying was completely true. To hammer the point home even further, another source for this alleged crime spoke up. One of the most respected women in comics appears to have some knowledge of the theft case. Mimi Cruz, owner of the renowned Utah-based NITE Comics, gave credence to Bill Willingham's 2015 public statements backing up his claims. The following was posted on her official blog, and she linked it to her Twitter account. If he, Bill Willingham, has reported this to the police and has a case number, it's not a joke. Cook should already be trying to make restitution. Public sympathy will not keep you out of jail. I applaud Willingham for making the situation public and in turn hopefully preventing others from being victimized in the same way. So this was back in September of 2015. So, and then here's more. It's Night Flight Comics themselves actually making a statement about it. It says here, I agree with Mimi Cruz and believe Mr. Willingham has had no motivation to lie. The local police were apparently provided with enough evidence to open a case and begin investigation. While verifying my story, our editor reached out to Bill Willingham himself and confirmed that the criminal case filed in Dodge County, Minnesota against Cook is indeed still active. And Willingham has also offered the following comments this week. I don't know if she ever retained counsel. She threatened to, and at the time I hoped she would try to sue, since the evidence against her was overwhelming. No new evidence has come to light unless you count my continuing to go through more old bank records to see how wide-ranging her thieving went. Forensic accounting may be the most tedious of all jobs, and I pretty much had to do it all on my own. So then, not only has Miss Cook gotten away with it, unless she does something incredibly stupid before the statute of limitations expires, she's cost me hundreds of hours of dull labor piecing together the extent of her crimes. Out of sheer embarrassment, I almost stayed quiet about what she did, as far as telling the comic community about her, because I really did make it ridiculously easy for her in almost any way imaginable. It was when she started advertising her services around as a potential personal assistant to other comic book pros, I thought I had some sort of responsibility to speak up. I did that then and again now. People in our business have been duly warned, and I hope can go back to banishing Stephanie Cook from my thoughts. Jesus Christ. So let me slow my pace a little bit. So basically, Stephanie Cook has flat out stolen from a well-known writer. And he's basically had no help in regards to the case whatsoever. So, yeah. Oh, I think I got a late donation there. That was weird. Oh, no wonder Fables' sequel got canceled early. He had a lot on his plate. Yeah, Chaos Sonic is pissed, by the way, for those who don't know. Like, all these donations he's sending me are in all caps. So, anyway. But she said, the writer says here, Stephanie's career in comics was most certainly in peril now the comics press had gotten a hold of this incredible story. But here's the thing. The comics media either ignored or outright censored the story. That's interesting. In fact, while CBR, Newsarama, Comics Alliance, and The Beat were all completely silent on the matter, the only high-profile comic news website that apparently covered the story was none other than Bleeding Cool. And as you can see in the screenshot from Night Flight Comics I shared above, Mimi Cruz linked directly to the following Bleeding Cool article on her official blog on September 22nd, 2015. Could Bleeding Cool be the only media outlet that gave any attention or credibility to the story? On the 21st, the story was ranked as the 11th most popular news item on Bleeding Cool, right behind 3 stories attacking artist Frank Cho, because of course they are. So, but something strange happens when you click on the particular story. It takes you to a blank page. Interesting. It's almost as if when I said Rich Johnston is most likely a pawn of the Whisper campaign, there was actually some credence to it. Funny how evidence works, Anthony Grimuglia. By the way, still a better writer than you two. And you don't get to question my ethics when you have complete articles that are blatant lies. Why would the only deleted article in that list be the one where Stephanie Cook was credibly accused of embezzlement by Fables creator Bill Willingham? Why has it been scrubbed from the site after being such a hot news story? After all, if it bleeds, it leads is the general perception of what gets reported at Bleeding Cool, and head writer Rich Johnston is considered by many to be a media shark. Once he sees red, he attacks anything that moves, ripping apart any pro in his path. This is true. But I must admit he does seem to have a strange penchant for showing mercy whenever Whisper Network comrades are concerned. Called it. Oh, and by the way, more than likely, part of the reason that Renfamous is coming after me is she wants me to be the subject of one of Rich's articles. Sharp-eyed readers may have noticed that Alex DeCampi's name appears on the same page as Cook's story, where DeCampi, and I can't make this stuff up, is accusing a bunch of comic industry pros of sexual misconduct without evidence. I encourage you to take the time to click all the links she's providing. I especially don't want anyone to miss how Rich Johnston ended that DeCampi article. You might be forgiven for thinking Bleeding Cool is DeCampi's personal website or PR firm after reading this. Let what he wrote sink in for a moment. If you are smart, you employ her. If you are smarter, you listen to what she says. Really? Totally not their rocket simp. Totally not. But you should read her Tumblr as well and then hire her. By the way, this is a writer for a website. Due diligence. In fairness to Ta-Nehisi Coates, she did proclaim her innocence on Twitter. She claimed she was getting a lawyer when the alleged embezzlement in Minnesota came to light, but afterwards she swiftly fled the United States and returned to Canada. I wonder if it's like she's trying to dodge extradition. Was that to avoid facing charges or answering to the legal system through her lawyer that she claimed to have hired, or was she just feeling homesick? According to her sources, she never hired anyone, and she deleted any and all of her tweets when she claimed she was hiring one. As of today, according to all parties she spoke to, this remains an open case. She has not hired an attorney, and in Minnesota, embezzlement of this magnitude is punishable up to 10 years in prison or up to fines of 20 grand. Chaos Sonic throws in another $1, and he says, there are few people I have high respect for in writing. Rick Riordan, Neil Gaiman, and Bill Willingham. Of course he's pissed. I can't blame you. So, this is kind of going back to it. She could be charged if she returns to the USA. Bill Willingham said excess of 10 grand. Could land her up to prison for up to 5 years. So, basically, anybody who employs this chick could potentially be employing somebody who's guilty of embezzlement. Potentially being the key word. That's jacked up. Comics Beat, the workplace of Cook's fellow Whisper Network comrade Heidi McDonald, published an interview with Cook back in 2018 where she wanted everyone to know she's a big fan of transparency. I found it interesting. Cook only seems to want to talk about transparency, what applies to the men in the comic books industry, but not to herself or her comrades. There was no mention of the embezzlement charges Mr. Willingham lobbied against Cook in the article. For that matter, there's no mention of it anywhere in the Comics Beat website, save one lone commenter with a good memory and an inquisitive mind who at least asked about it in the comments section of the transparency interview. Interesting. Comments are closed. God, there's a lot to this. Oh, absolute lot to this. I'm going to look through here. A lot of bitching about men who make money. Okay, so this go back to any of that. So Whisper Network mentions members have been laughing at reports that came out in recent weeks about the group, making light of what was reported or threatening legal reprisals, but this is actually far from funny. Ta-Nehisi Coates is writing books for HMH Kids. She organizes comic events. She's considered to be a trusted member of the media trademark, which means she has the privilege of reporting and handling sensitive information. She's supposed to be helping hook up creators with paying gigs, and yet she never answered for criminal charges that were leveled at her by her previous employer, an award-winning, highly respected creator in the comic book industry. How many in the Whisper Network have even heard or knew about this alleged embezzlement beforehand but kept quiet? CBR has published literally hundreds of Bill Willingham-related stories, but were mum on this one. How many people knew about the subsequent media cover-ups or perhaps even helped facilitate them? How many people in the industry have been victimized due to silence, something that Bill Willingham, Mimi Cruz, and others try to protect their peers from? No, I am sorry, Amy Chu, but this is not sharing cat pictures, and this is not a joke. This is dead serious. A lot of folks have things to answer for. Meanwhile, let's take a detour from memory lane for now, look into some recent history, maybe even peek into the future a bit. Odds of the next week. This is Mrs. Biggins, if I recall correctly. Odds for next week's phony celebrity Comicsgate denouncement. Scott Snyder 3-1, Bendis 5-1, CB Cebulski 10-1. I'm trying to think of who all denounced it, because it was like Snyder. I think Bendis did. I know Cebulski did. I know Mignola did. Jason Aaron did very early. Kirkman, I don't think said anything about it. Kevin Smith, I don't remember saying anything about it. Capullo, I don't think has said anything about it. Neither has Johns. Frank Miller, I don't remember. Liefeld has denounced it. Jim Lee hasn't said anything. McFarlane doesn't care, most likely. Neither does Mark Miller. Jonathan Hickman works for a living, so he's definitely not going to do it. And Alan Moore is a giant douche. So the Whisper Network's next likely target. Well, if it ain't me, it's somebody, right? There is a tactic known as playing the long game when the opposition builds their attacks in intensity slowly over time. Sort of death by 1,000 cuts approach. And the real Twitter trial begins. On social platforms, I've observed the pattern of the same handful of folks who frequently talk about talking down the quote-unquote shitty people, the worst of the worst, but only the folks that they allege attack marginalized groups and participate in hate groups. You know, who they say they hate. Right-wingers, gators, Trumpsters, ad infinitum, sorry. Targeting anyone with power, regardless of politics of affiliations, so on and so forth. Okay, first cut. Heather Antos, formerly of Marvel, recently doled out a kick to the shins of Scott Snyder on August 28th, 2018. Several months after she left Marvel, left the company voluntarily, supposedly to become editor-in-chief of an esports betting website. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, good lord. So Scott Snyder, for those of you who don't know, who's a virtual signaling dipshit, says, I was off radar with this being the kids' last week before school starts and missed this yesterday, but of course this. And she says, I'm disappointed. I expected more from you, Scott. So he agrees with this. That there's no place for harassment, homophobia, transphobia, blah, 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 all this shit. So he agrees with it, but he agrees with it 2 days late because he's taking care of his children. And you're disappointed? Shut the fuck up. Get back under the desk. Because this is Edwin Boyette. Edwin Boyette has a special message for everyone, and then that thing is that Heather Rantos is a cum dumpster. Yeah, she's a cum dumpster. Fuck you, Edwin. Anyway, Antos made what seems like a subtle jab that implies you're not condemning Comicsgate quick enough for my tastes. Must mean you're tacitly supporting them. Pretty much. Okay, so this is all stuff we already know. You know, the October surprise. Whisper Network was really tearing things up through 2017, making crazy comments, trashing pros publicly and privately. Things began to shift in 2017 after Aubrey Citizen's G.I. Joe comic was canceled by IDW for low sales. Gee, it's almost like you shouldn't have a fucking socialist writing G.I. Joe. And then again, they talk about his stuff saying that his shitty comments about 9/11. Talk about Chuck Wendig being fired. And then the Richard Meyer lawsuit. Oh, so that's October 25th, 2018. So that's why that's a big deal. But apparently the writer says she found virtually nothing happening in the Whisper Network after October 2018. For the rest of the year and for nearly all of 2019, the Twitterati seemed to be on their best behavior. They even stopped much of the trash talking and presumably any colluding behind the scenes from what I could tell. I could find no threats, no bullying, and the rumor spreading had really died down. Remained relatively quiet until 2020. I wonder if they're thinking... So let me... Oh, Oliver from my Three Knights team is in here. What's going on, buddy? I showed off your new colored pages, by the way, earlier in the show. But I wonder if they think that Mark Zaid's strategy for the Richard C. Meyer case is working. So for those who don't know, the lawyer, like Mark Zaid, is trying to draw out the case with Richard as long as he can. to try to basically get Richard to run out of money. And then it'll basically just get dismissed. That's the general thing, or it gets settled, you know. And yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if they think that's what's gonna happen. That's why it's important you support Richard. Seriously. Dateline 2020, the attacks resume on Snyder. Oh, look. It's the embezzler. Once again. Ugh. Okay. One thing I've come to believe about the Whisper Network, they never forgive and they never forget. Well, no, they're part of the Church of Woke. There is no forgiveness in the Church of Woke. Even the tiniest cut will leave a trail of blood for them. On January 14th, 2020, Stephanie Cook, who took the next swipe at Snyder. Probably too soft to be considered a cancellation, but that probably wasn't the point. It was designed to build a foundation for future attacks, thereby demeaning him and calling his character into question. So, the fuck is this supposed to mean? Followed up by breathlessly verified Twitter user trademark and Proud Whisper Network ally Christopher Sabella, who also got in a tiny jab when Scott was being put down. I don't think this attack went well for Cook because it didn't go viral and didn't gain any traction. A few more months passed before the network lashed out again. I've noticed another pattern seems to be that they bring up the same petty grievances over and over again for years if necessary, if it goes viral and or the media reports on it. And then she talks about this. So this is the Alex DeCampi basically saying that Scott Snyder is sexually harassing people with zero evidence. We talked about that last time. So basically saying that because he works for DC and DC employed harassers, that he's guilty of it, which is fucking stupid. Anyway, would Scott Snyder be accepting of abuse towards women and harassment in the workplace, or is she saying that Snyder is somewhat of a sexist and racist because he's not, quote-unquote, dismantling the DC Comics system under which he is employed? Or is she simply bitter that his employer never hired her to write one comic and only ever hired her to write one comic and never employed her again? Well, from what we've heard, Alex DeCampi's a fucking cunt, so that shouldn't surprise anyone. She certainly seems to be a prolific writer on Twitter, though. Maybe this is why Alex's de facto PR statement gleefully turned her Twitter tantrum into a news story, because of course they did. So, and then of course Stephanie Cook echoes that. So, here we see Stephanie Cook attempting to stain Scott Snyder with a CG-adjacent label, which has oddly become the equivalent of a scarlet letter. Oh, goodness. Let's kind of fast forward here, because I'm interested in what's going on right now. Because the fact of the matter is that they want to destroy Scott Snyder. The question is why? What is it about him that makes them want to wreck him? What makes them want to destroy his career? You know? That's an interesting question. This is where things get even more insidious. Another popular activity seen inside the Whisper Network is the sharing of contents from personal emails, private phone calls, and texts with all the other members, potentially shaming anyone in the industry and turning that person's colleagues against him. Private messages shared with 443 women that work in the same industry. While there is expected supportive feedback and encouragement, something else seems to be happening. See if you notice it. So, following Whisper Network's June 23rd to 25th, 2020 smear job against Snyder, Mags Visaggio seemed to tip her hand on the Women's Network's secret Facebook page. Based on her history, it seems this could be setting the stage for future attacks. Let's see here. So, Edge, after the Sean Murphy thing, don't want to get used, don't want to be a dude's emotional support. While when I signed up was making a comic, I get that enough from Snyder. Feel every time Scott calls, we spend 10 minutes talking comics and then 45 minutes of him going around in circles about how he doesn't want to be a bad person, doesn't know what to do about X, and thinks he should stay out of it, but, and then it says see more. Just today he was talking about the Warren thing, and I'm like, dude, I know less than you do. Right now I literally have no advice, and I kept telling him I needed to go because my phone was blowing up with day job stuff. Interesting. Let's see. Other women talking about emotional dumping. Clearly becomes emotional manipulation. Bring up Sean Murphy. Someone throws in Max Bemis for comparison, whom Alex DeCampi eviscerated before. Let's see here. The things I read about Bemis were a lot of emotional dumping on a co-creator artist and some emotional manipulation, I think. Might have been in this group that I saw it. Let me dig. Tag you in the old threads. Yeah, I remember with Bemis, he was just being emotional, and thought he could confide in someone, and usually that's what happens, you have friends, you think you can confide in them, and you talk to them. I have people that I work with that's like that, and there are people that I work with that are like that for me. It is what it is, Like, fuck, people try to dump shit like that on me all the time. It's just, I tell them, it's like, hey, there's a time and a place for this. It's not that big of a fucking deal. And it doesn't mean they want to fuck you. Let's see here. So, Amy Chu says, had to stop talking to Scott after the Berganza thing. Felt that everyone should just trust him to work things out behind the scenes. Let's see here. He did spearhead the effort to oust Van Sciver. Whoa. Ethan. Did you know? I don't know if you're watching, dude, but did you know about that? And I think that you owe Scott a call. What the fuck? Ooh, boy. Whew, lad. That is a thing. Okay. Let's see here. Casey Gilly says, Scott had similar behavior with me during Witches. I was interviewing him every single issue. But this really is those conversations, 5 to 10 minutes of business, 20 to 90 minutes of me providing free, unlicensed therapy. Kept encouraging him to talk to a professional, which he absolutely has the means to do. Blah, blah, blah. So he tends to talk a lot. Whoop he fucking do. Tends to steamroll and talk over you. Yeah, I have friends who do that. This isn't a fucking big of a deal. People talk sometimes. Jesus. Just say, hey, hey, I gotta go. I can't keep doing this. Just cut them off. Jesus. Remember the first tweet I shared with you at the beginning of the article where Amy Chu was mocking the Twitter user who claimed the Whisper Network was run by Gail and Alex? Did you notice the little badge next to their name in this Facebook thread above? Do you know what that little badge means? See chart below. Reason Amy Chu was able to say who doesn't run the Whisper Network is because Amy Chu is one of the admins who runs the group. Other with some others like the editor-in-chief of Oni Press that approved this collusion. So let's see what her badge was. So Casey Gilly has a check mark. Amy Chu has one with a star. So if you have a star, you're an administrator. It means you run it. And then if you have the check, you're a moderator. Huh. Interesting. And who's Sarah Gatos? Comic book editor-in-chief of Oni Press. Yeah. Holy fuck. Has the stage been set for Snyder? In theory, if someone like Tess Fowler, Alex DeCampi, Stephanie Cook, Mags Visaggio, or Heather Antos were to make a public accusation against Scott Snyder, which they might not, especially after this article drops, let's say in a hypothetical scenario they decided to in those previous public comments that laid a foundation that many of them have contributed to. All the following statements could be made and receipts could be provided, as we've seen in the past, but they don't provide any evidence. They don't have to provide any evidence. Waited too long to denounce Comicsgate. Wanted to be competitive. Said he wouldn't manipulate or harass women. Whines a lot on the phone, and he's married. He wants attention of women, is emotionally dumping, and that's just a step away from grooming behavior because he's something cis, something white, something dude. Oh, goodness. Oh, good Lord. Richard, call your lawyer. Trying to file a report with Patreon about diversity in comics. They need the timestamp of harassment violation for this dude's hundreds of videos. Whoa, boy. And then she wishes food poisoning on him. Classy. What else we got here? Try reporting his Patreon for copyright infringement. We're on that. Who is Asher Powell? So he's fucked! So this is an Asher Powell. It's like metrosexual Nick Fuentes. This is the kind of guy that if you told him to eat to hop on a mountain of dicks and eat his way down, like he'd be like, "I'll be there in a second." Jesus Christ. What is this? Cat Dad. Creepy. Writer of some stuff for Vertigo and Young Animal. The fuck? So this is somebody who has apparently been false flagging your boy Zach's stuff. And is a member of the Whisper Network. Who the fuck is Nanny Coldman? Can't find her. Another donation. Let's see here. Chaos Sonic says, "Oh great, now Scott Pilgrim's creator Brian Lee O'Malley is going to be the next target." Jesus. This is like fucking disturbing. Another Whisper Network coincidence. God, there's still more. Antarctic Press proudly announced to be publishing Meyer's Jawbreakers graphic novel, one of the biggest campaigns out, earning over $400,000 with 10,000 backers. Visaggio implied Mark Waid himself had recruited her to do a little legwork for him and uncover some potential evidence. Whoa. There's some ramifications here. Huge. I'm wondering if this is why Mags was begging Ethan for mercy. I wonder. I might ask Ethan about that. It says here, I need a favor. Can someone scan Meyer's account looking for his shit posts about me so I can forward them to Wade? I'm super not reliving that. Whoa. So that basically ends it. Oh my god. So let's go ahead and get this straight. It wasn't just Mark Wade trying to destroy Richard C. Myers' career. It's a ton of people in comic books trying to destroy him. This is perturbing. Like, seriously, this is fucked. Absolutely fucked. Yeah, Sonic throws in another book. Says, what happened with the case? Well, the basic thing is that several people, not just Wade, were trying to fuck with Richard around the time of that court case starting. And we're trying to fuck with the deal with Antarctic. That's massive. Absolutely massive. I'm seriously hoping Richard calls his lawyer tonight. Because holy fuck. This is obscene. I don't know what to say. I mean, what I'm dealing with right now is like not even a quarter of the shit that Richard had to deal with. You know? Not even a quarter. Servant of God throws in a buck and says, this is something like a RICO case now. Well, RICO's no, what's going on with Richard is a lawsuit. It's a civil suit. RICO doesn't apply there. RICO's for criminal cases. So, wow, I don't know what to say. I really don't. I'm genuinely taken aback by this. But basically what we're seeing is that these are people that started a Facebook group to ruin people's lives. And to destroy people. You know? This is pretty fucking huge for the industry. It means that all of these people that are supposedly sharing cat memes, which they obviously aren't, are going above and beyond to fuck with people and just ruin them. Now the amount of people that Richard could sue has just gotten bigger. Max Visaggio, or anybody that's shown as saying like they were trying to help Mark Wade out. They're going to get subpoenaed, by the way. And they're going to have to testify in open court. At least if Richard's legal team is smart, they're going to subpoena them. It's mortifying to me, you know? Absolutely mortifying. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about all this? I'm genuinely curious. Because to me, this is some mafioso shit. Like, this is like the... I don't even know. Like, it is like the comic book fucking mafia. They want to control the fucking industry. They want to gatekeep it. They want to make sure that anybody who doesn't have the right opinions or play by their rules can't be in it. This is bullshit. Like, if you work for a company, you should have to adhere to the standards of the company. Why should you have to adhere to some other fucking idiot? Like Gail Simone. Or Alex DeCampa. Or anything along those lines. Why the fuck should I have to deal with that? Why? Why do these people have power? They shouldn't. At all. You know, Gail Simone destroyed Dynamite Entertainment by herself. She's not employed by them, by the way. And because what Nick Barrucci bending the knee wasn't enough. Jesus Christ. And she's like, oh, let's just burn it all down. By the way, I'm not working for them. I'm going on a vacation from Dynamite. Blah, blah, blah. Basically putting Barrucci in a position where, you know, he's going to lose writers and artists, whereas he was going to lose them no matter what. He could have hired Comicsgate talent to fill in the gaps. And now if he tries to, people aren't going to take it. That's the thing. This is the culture war. It's what we're dealing with right now. This is a big part of it. False accusations of racism, false accusations of sexism, false accusations of harassment, so on and so forth. They are manufactured to destroy people. I am beyond disgusted. And I'm hungry. That doesn't help things. Oh, fuck. Well, thankfully McDonald's is still open. So I can get some spicy chicken sandwiches. Or a bunch of McNuggets. I think that's what I'm actually going to do. I'm gonna like fucking drown my sorrows in McNuggets. I don't get burgers from fucking McDonald's because that's not meat. At least I don't think it is. They always overcook the bacon too. Hatman, what do you think? I'm tempted to call Hatman in and we talk about this for a minute, or should we just save it for the podcast? Montanui says, I'm sorry, racist cheeseburger is the dumbest thing ever. I know, right? Chaos Sonic says, unlike the Mafia, these pieces of shit will be taken down. I'm hoping starting with that cum dumpster fuck stain of a human being that screwed Bill out of his money. No, I will not apologize for insulting them. They crossed the line for me. Chaos Sonic's pissed. And for good reason. Hatman's bored. Alright, hold on a sec. Hatman, I'm going to call you in over Discord.
Oh, cool. I called in.
You certainly did.
Yeah, I've got one more label to throw on a domestic T-shirt package, and then that's it. Then I can run of them down to the post office, and the tracking numbers will be updated tomorrow, y'all.
Good, because if not, I would shame the Hatman again.
Yep. Also, Servant of God, I know you're in the chat right now. Yours was the last one.
There you go.
So, well, both of yours were the last one, because I know you got 2 Windy City specials. Which, dear God.
Yeah.
So, McDonald's burgers, are they made of meat?
I don't think they are.
They're more meaty than, I guess, like Taco Bell tacos, which still don't really taste like meat at all. They taste like... You ever had Texas Pete chili?
No.
Shit. Texas Pete chili is like a vegetarian chili, basically.
Ugh.
So...
That sounds awful.
Honestly, the spice mix in there makes it really good, to the point where people actually threw shit fits when they stopped making it. But,
Interesting.
yeah, that's basically like the inside of a Taco Bell taco. So, McDonald's hamburgers are more meat than that. I don't know if I could say they're more meaty than fucking, like, Burger King. But to be honest, I don't really get Burger King very often.
Me neither. Also, apparently it's cheaper for me to get 40 McNuggets and 2 large fries than it is to get 20 McNuggets and 1 large fry.
Yeah, they do those weird deals and stuff. Like, there was one thing I saw that was like, was it 20 McNuggets? I think it was 20 McNuggets, 2 Big Macs, and 2 medium fries for like $12.
Fuck it.
Fuck it.
Chaos Sonic throws in another buck and says, the only bright side is my package is ready. Otherwise, I'll be 100% pissed. Right now, I'm 95% pissed. Yeah, I feel like this is... Trust me, like, I have friends involved in this, guys. But beneath the chill that I have of, like, being on a show, you know, I'm not happy.
Yeah.
Then again, as Hatman will tell you, when I get angry, I get quiet.
Well...
And then I start yelling.
There have been times where you got very, very loud.
Yeah. Well, I get quiet first.
Yeah.
And then I think. And then I get really loud. And I start
Yeah,
cursing up a storm.
It's sort of like you give them a moment to realize where and how they fucked up.
Yeah. It's
then the
basically,
punishment begins.
yeah, you look in my face and you realize you done goofed.
Mm-hmm. It's about right. It's about right.
Tomorrow is my last day of freedom, Hatman.
Last day of freedom.
Yeah. Saturday begins
jail?
Hell Month.
Oh no. Back on keto.
Back on keto.
Damn it. Okay. I guess that means I won't be eating Chick-fil-A on the podcast anytime soon.
Oh, you can. I'll be all right, but
Oh.
Mix by Sprite Tropic Berry. What the hell is that?
It's... God, how do I explain it? It's like a mix between Sprite and Mountain Dew-ish.
I just want to know, why is Cherry Coke not available like anywhere?
I have no idea. I mean, most McDonald's have those freaking like Coke remix machines anyway,
That's true.
so they can make all that shit.
I wonder if this one does. Let's see.
I've got no idea.
Nope.
Damn.
Tempted to not get soda at all and just get like an apple pie.
Well, what, 2 apple pies for $1 or something?
2 apple pies is $1.50. 1 apple pie is $1.44. What the fuck is going on? To hell with it.
Welcome to McDonald's.
I know, right? Welcome to Fatter.
Is this DoorDash? Are you gonna get DoorDash?
Yeah.
Damn, I didn't know they delivered this late.
Chaos. Oh, well, McDonald's is 24 hours. So.
Still, I didn't know DoorDash drivers were out this late.
Some of them are. Yeah.
Damn, well, props to them.
It's not midnight yet here in Illinois, though.
Well, yeah, that's true. I was gonna say, well, tip them well regardless.
Absolutely. All right. I'm thinking, we'll try out this Mix by Sprite thing.
Mix by Sprite thing.
Fuck it.
Fuck it. I think, yeah.
But Chaos Sonic says at least you have whole milk to look forward to. That's true.
Let's not talk about whole milk for a while. I'm still reeling from the fucking hot wings and having to puke up whole milk and lemonade.
Well, that was like a really bad idea anyway. Like, you should have just done just milk.
It was terrible. It was a fucking terrible idea. Well, that's the thing. The milk just like cooled everything off, but the lemonade got rid of the flavor. It was like a 1-2 punch from Da Bomb. I hate that shit.
Yeah.
I officially hate that shit, and I want it to die forever.
By the way, I'm tipping the guy $5. So.
Perfect. So, I might just take a trip. Well, yeah, I might just take a trip in the Hatmobile and
This is probably going to be
deliver
all of
these
my
books.
food. Aluminum shortage knockdown effects, says Wilberforce Wooster. Hey, Wooster. You're kind of at the tail end of the show, buddy, so you'll have to catch a lot of the replay, but it's good to see you here.
I still got food sitting here for me.
But, well, for the last 10 minutes, before we take off, if I'd known you were just sitting around, I would have called you in earlier. But,
Well, I did say I'm literally just here at work packing books, so.
yeah, I should have thought of it. That's my bad. Not to mention we didn't have an overflow this week anyway.
This is true.
But anyway, sorry, somebody DM me on Twitter. This is just one of those things that I'm just, obviously we're experiencing it with Renfamous coming after me.
Oh yeah.
But
absolutely.
it's rather obvious she's failing. Like, she's had no effect on anything. My editors thought that what she said was hilarious. and then trying to like the hamburger, really the burgers, fucking like Kumas, something I had nothing to do with.
It's such a reach that Noble Six is on his way there.
I know, right?
It's ridiculous. Like I'm tempted to say, yeah, try to come after me, because even BuzzFeed tried and they couldn't do anything.
Oh, mamma mia! But this is just the way that it is. It's like all over fucking comic books.
Mm-hmm.
Sad, sad, sad.
It is. Is this the new state of the world, I guess?
Oh. I still want to do like a novella or something called 2020, the Year of Cancel Culture.
Be interesting.
I might do that, like
right
write
back
that in November. And then put it out in December.
This year in cancel culture.
Chaos Sonic says, I think if you think I'll be pissed, his best friend who introduced him to Fables will be worse. He refuses to watch even Once Upon a Time, the Disney live-action show, because it's basically Diet Fables. Jesus.
I never really paid much attention to Once Upon a Time, so I can't really say anything.
I haven't even, like, read Fables yet. I just played the game, The Wolf Among Us, which was really good.
Well, okay.
But I don't know. It's despicable, man. It's just beyond despicable to me.
It is. I mean, it's if this is the state of the industry, where you basically have to pass, a secret inquisition that's gatekeeping. Like, it's no wonder that comics are fucking failing. They're not going to bring on any new talent because they have to basically be perfect. And even if they are perfect, they don't have any fucking talent. So, double-edged motherfucking sword.
Yeah, it's basically fully based on whether or not you have the right politics. It has nothing to do with your skills.
No, absolutely not. Nope.
I mean, well, like, I can only imagine if they find out that somebody didn't vote Joe Biden, next year, they're going to lose their goddamn minds whether he wins or loses.
Well, shit. I mean, I kind of wonder if some of them are straight up saying, no, vote to abolish the Democratic Party. Vote green.
I don't know about that, but...
Vote for Commie Hawkins.
But no, the fact of the matter is that I can't really see this improving until the industry finally tells them, these chicks, to shut the fuck up. Because here's I guess we'll close on this. The fact of the matter is this: the only reason that these women have power is because they were given power by the industry.
Mm-hmm.
They have no official positions within major anything. The ones that are editor-in-chiefs at comic book companies, it's small ones, like Devil's Due or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
They have no more industry power than I do, as the EIC, which I guess you could call me, of Sleeveless Comics. Though I think head writer would probably be more apt, because I'm the only writer.
EIC,
but as it stands, there's a the only way that this goes away is if people stand up to it. If people aren't willing to stand up to it, this is going to be the future for us. Best way to stand up to it... I'm almost done, sorry. Best way to stand up to it, support independent creators. Myself.
Yeah, absolutely.
And others. Like I mentioned earlier, they're trying to cancel Art to Bear, so look at Chrono Mechanics. Back Art. Art's amazing. And you guys obviously showed support for him also. You guys said you want him to do the cover for the Inglewood Peregrine crossover. We're gonna talk to Art about it, and we're gonna see if he'd be up for it. We'll get his rates. I'll talk to Kyle as well, who is Ethan's colorist. Kyle and I are buddies, so I'll say, hey Kyle, how much do you want to color this? And that's what we'll do for that cover, and it'll probably be huge, because that book's gonna be huge, to be honest with you. Though, still needs some editing done, some things I gotta change according to Piper, and then her and Hatman will edit it and make sure that we get all of the grammar mistakes and all that shit.
Yeah.
So,
Make sure we don't have any 6-gun, 7-gun issues like we did in Inglewood.
Yeah. And for those
Okay,
wondering,
we
yes,
that.
we did in fact purchase the bags and boards. I did show those off.
Yep.
And we'll stock up, once we get disbursement from 3 nights, we're going to go ahead and just buy all the materials we need.
Yeah.
So we have more than enough money for it.
We still have some Gemini mailers left over, too.
Yeah.
So.
And by the way, we have to thank you guys for that, by the way, is you guys have put so much towards this. We have more than enough to make sure not only can we ship out to you, we'll get you your bags and boards and your Gemini mailers, we don't have to send it media mail either. We could just send it normal shipping. So thank you guys for putting, investing in us so that we can not only get you a great comic that's going to be one of the best you're ever going to read, in my opinion, with an amazing artist, an amazing colorist, and an amazing letterer, and an amazing writer and editor, of course. We're going to be able to get it to you quick, get it to you safe, and you're going to have a lot of pretty stuff and an enjoyable book. So thank you all very much for everything. And we're also going to be doing, the Inglewood Second Chance, too. Real quick, I'm going to read a donation, and then Hatman, I'll let you close this out. But Chaos Sonic put in another $1, said, as Ananias said in American Gods, and now I feel about the Whisper Network, let the motherfucker burn, let it all burn. Hatman, you're up.
We don't need no water. Let the motherfucker burn. Burn, motherfucker, burn.
There you go. The wisdom of the Hatman.
Even if I did steal it.
All right, folks. Like I said, we appreciate every single one of you. You guys make it possible for what we do, for us to do what we do. I want to thank Chaos Sonic and Servant of God, and Not the Last One, for their generosity during the course of the stream. I get so many ones during streams, I might as well be a stripper. But but yeah, you guys make it all worth it, seriously. So don't forget, tomorrow on the Micah and the Hatman channel, which there is a link to that channel in the description, we will be discussing lots of craziness, both politically and in entertainment. We'll probably touch back on this, I would think, a little bit to go over it, let it settle for a day, and then I can't think of what else really there is to cover. We'll think of something, I think.
Yeah, something.
So tune in tomorrow, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. It will be fun, as always. So, with all that said, my name is Micah Curtis.
And I'm Alex Baldwin, and I'm going to go mail these books out now.
Yep.
Well,
We'll
books and
see.
shirts.
We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Davis Vault.